Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. A long time ago, during wartime, there were 4 children, the Benez's children. There was Susan, the oldest, Peter, the youngest, Edmund, the middle, and then you had Lucy, the youngest. Their mother was sending them on a train to the countryside to be safe from the war that was going on. They boarded this train, all scared and didn't know what was going on. And they got to the countryside, and they heard as a carriage rose up to pick them up. This is a mean old lady who didn't seem very thrilled to have children coming to stay at her house. Well, it was actually the doctor's house that they were going to stay at. They then arrived at the house. Do not touch anything. Be quiet so the doctor can study, the woman explains. The children look around amazed. What was going on? They did their studying and played some games. One day they all went outside to play a ball of cricket. The kids hit the ball right into the glass windows into the doctor's office. They were very scared. Peter looked at Edmund. What was that for? Your pitch should have been better. You shouldn't have hit it so hard, Edmund explained. They ran upstairs to find the ball, and the doctor had it. He was not very happy, but he gave the ball back to him and just kind of giggled. The children one day on a rainy day were playing a dictionary game. Susan exclaimed, what origin is hat from? Latin, explained Edward, not excited at all. They were bored. Lucy jumped up. Let's play hide and seek. That's a kid's game, said Susan. But Peter said, I think it'll be fun. Edmund was not too attuned to it either. Edmund was the counter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As Susan ran to hide behind a chair, and Peter hid behind a curtain, but Lucy found a door, and inside this door was a wardrobe that she walked into. She pushed through all the coats, and all of a sudden kind of stumbled. She was outside, and there was snow. As she traveled around, she found a light. She stared at it. Then she heard noise. And Lucy was scared. And then, all of a sudden, she saw, ah! They both screamed. It was Mr. Tubman, half goat, half human kind of dude. And they sat there and exchanged names, and they went to shake, and he said, what is shaking? She said, well, I don't actually know why we do it. He takes her to his place, feeds her some hot chocolate. As she drifts away, and he sings to her. Hours, it felt like later, she woke up in a panic. Mr. Tumnus was very worried. You have to leave, you have to leave. She's watching, she knows everything. She said, what are you talking about? The White Witch. She controls everything. The trees are her spies. You have to get out of here. I made you stay too long. I put you in danger. So they scurried back. She goes back into the wardrobe, comes out, runs. I'm back, she explains. Edmund, very frustrated. The point is to hide and be quiet. Lucy looked at him and was like, I've been gone for hours. What are you talking about? I was looking for you. We were in the middle of a game. That's the point of hide and seek. Edmund smirks. Lucy then tells Susan and Peter, and they both push her aside. Little kids in their imagination. They then went outside and played. And they made a ruckus and they got scared. The next night, they woke up and Lucy went back to find Mr. Tumnus, and Edmund followed her. They followed her to the wardrobe, where Lucy went back to see Mr. Tumnus. But Edmund was following her. and lost her in the woods. And all of a sudden, another carriage rode up by. It was the White Witch and her little scroungy helper. "Who are you?" he says. "I'm Edmund." The White Witch was very kind and nice. "No, no, no. Don't kill him. He is of importance to us." She does a little magic and makes him her favorite danishes and talks to him and says that he should bring all of his brothers and sisters to the castle that she lives in. Edmund was quite intrigued and said he would do that. And she ran away and he's a little confused. Lucy approaches. "Edmund, what are you doing here? So you do believe?" Yeah, let's get back." Edmund scurries off. So, the next day, they all explore into the wardrobe. They all find themselves in there. She goes to find, Lucy takes them to Mr. Tumnus, and they weren't there anymore. They end up finding the friends, Mr. Beaver, Mrs. Beaver, and they scurry through the land, trying to get to the camp that Aslan was in. Edmund runs away to the White Witch and finds that she was just trying to deceive him to get them all. She had made a plan. She needed them dead because they were important to the future of this country. They make it to the camp finally, and Edmund comes with the White Witch and says that he's a traitor, is what the White Witch says. Aslan, the king of the land, takes the White Witch in, exchanges his life for Edmund because he was supposed to be sacrificed. Later that night, Aslan gets up to go to the sacrifice and tells no one what's going on. Lucy and Susan, though, heard him leave and follows him. Aslan turns around. "What are you guys doing here? Shouldn't you be in bed?" Lucy and Susan said, "I'm sorry, we just needed to know what was going on." So Aslan said, "I like the company," and so they walked along with Aslan. He said, "This is far enough. You girls must go back." And the girls said okay as Aslan went forward, but the girls didn't leave. They hid behind some bushes to see what was going on. Fires everywhere. Aslan goes up, and the White Witch kills him. The girls were so sad. They waited for everybody to clear out. They went up, went to untie him, and all of a sudden, the rock comes undone. And explodes. And Lucy and Edmund, and all of a sudden Aslan's no longer there. He was dead. Where did he go? Well, during this time, the war is going on between the White Witch and the original people from the country, fighting each other. Edmund and Peter are the leaders of it. They're trying to defeat them, but it almost seems impossible. So Edmund and they're fighting. So Lucy and Aslan tells Aslan what's going on, and Aslan said, "We must hurry." They run across the countryside to the king's castle, where many people had been frozen by the witch. Aslan unfreezes them, runs them all back just in time to help with the war. They all win, and then Peter, Susan, Lucy, and Edmund become the kings and queens over the land. Aslan goes away like he always does, but he's sure to return one day. The king and queens grow up as kings and queens of the land. One day, riding their horses, they spot the lamp of a long time ago. They all file back into the wardrobe, and they come out as the kids that they were whenever they went in. The doctor says, "What were you doing in the wardrobe?" And they said, "You'll never believe us if we told you." And he said, "Try me." And so the kids told him all about it. Later on, we discovered that the doctor used to be able to do it too. The end.